Spike Lee's Da 5 Bloods is a cinematic epic, a multi-layered and visceral examination of the enduring scars of the Vietnam War on a brotherhood of black veterans. To fully appreciate its narrative depth, we must delve beyond a simple plot summary and explore the intricate character psychologies, the potent historical context, and the powerful symbolism woven into its very fabric. This is a story that unfolds not just in the jungles of Vietnam, but in the battlegrounds of memory, guilt, and the unfulfilled promise of justice. The film opens with a powerful montage of archival footage, a signature Spike Lee technique. We are immediately thrust into the turbulent crucible of the late 1960s and early 1970s. We see figures like Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, and Angela Davis, potent symbols of black resistance and pride. This isn't mere historical window dressing, it's a crucial framing device. Lee establishes the central paradox that fuels the narrative. Black soldiers fighting and dying in Vietnam for a country that systematically oppressed them at home. The film poignantly notes that black soldiers constituted a disproportionate percentage of combat troops and casualties, a stark reflection of the systemic inequities they faced. Into this charged atmosphere, we are introduced to the 5 Bloods, Paul, Otis, Eddie, Melvin, and their revered squad leader, Storeman Norman. Through flashbacks, we see them not just as soldiers, but as a tight-knit family, their bond forged in the crucible of war. Norman, played with messianic charisma by Chadwick Boseman in a posthumous role, is the ideological heart of the group. He is educated, politically astute, and a fervent believer in black liberation. He schools his fellow soldiers on the hypocrisy of their situation, urging them to see themselves not as pawns in a colonial war, but as agents of their own destiny. The pivotal moment of their shared past is the discovery of a crashed CIA plane laden with gold bars. This gold was intended as payment to the Lahu people, an indigenous group who aided the U.S. in its fight against the Viet Cong. For Norman, however, this gold represents something far more profound: reparations. It is a tangible form of restitution for centuries of slavery and oppression. That gold is ours, he declares, articulating a powerful claim for historical justice. Their plan to bury the gold and retrieve it later is not just a get-rich-quick scheme, it is an act of political defiance. This dream is shattered by a Vietnamese counterattack. In the ensuing chaos, Norman is tragically killed, and the landscape is irrevocably altered by napalm strikes, seemingly burying their hope along with the gold. Decades later, the film shifts to the bustling, modernized Ho Chi Minh City. A landslide has revealed the tale of the downed plane, resurrecting the long-dormant quest. The 4 surviving Bloods reunite, each a testament to the divergent paths life takes after trauma. Eddie has cultivated an image of success, a prosperous businessman, but we soon learn this is a fragile facade masking deep financial troubles. Melvin is the jovial, life-of-the-party figure, his humor a coping mechanism for the horrors he has witnessed. Otis, the group's former medic, carries a quiet dignity. His return to Vietnam is complicated by a deeply personal revelation. A letter from a former Vietnamese lover, Tien, informs him that he has an adult daughter, a living link to his past he never knew existed. And then there is Paul. Played with ferocious intensity by Delroy Lindo, Paul is the film's tormented soul. He is a powder keg of raw emotion, his psyche ravaged by PTSD. He wears a Make America Great Again hat, a seemingly contradictory choice for a black man, which serves as a potent symbol of his deep-seated disillusionment and his desperate search for an anchor in a world he feels has betrayed him. His relationship with his son, David, who unexpectedly joins the expedition, is fraught with tension. David sees a father lost to his own demons, while Paul views his son with a mixture of resentment and a desperate, unspoken need for connection. Their journey into the jungle, guided by the resourceful Vin, becomes a descent into a metaphorical heart of darkness. The lush, vibrant landscape is a stark contrast to the ugliness they carry within them. The camaraderie of their youth begins to fray under the weight of old grievances and the intoxicating allure of the gold. A tense encounter with a group of French anti-landmine activists, led by a woman named Hetty, highlights Paul's escalating paranoia. He sees threats everywhere, his mind a minefield of past traumas. The discovery of the gold is a moment of fleeting triumph. As they unearth the bars, their joy is palpable, a brief respite from the darkness. But the immense wealth immediately becomes a corrupting influence. The question of how to divide it, how to smuggle it out of the country, reopens old wounds and creates new fissures in their brotherhood. Paul, in particular, becomes increasingly unhinged, his paranoia metastasizing into a dangerous obsession. He believes the others, including his own son, are plotting to cheat him out of his share. The simmering tensions erupt into open conflict when they encounter a local militia. In a chaotic shootout, Eddie is tragically killed, the first of the Bloods to fall on this new, self-inflicted battlefield. The dream of a triumphant return with their spoils dies with him. Consumed by his paranoia and greed, Paul makes the fateful decision to abandon the group, taking his share of the gold and venturing into the jungle alone. It is in this isolation that Paul is forced to confront the true source of his torment. Through a powerful, theatrical monologue delivered directly to the camera, he unburdens his soul. A flashback reveals the devastating truth he has suppressed for decades. In the confusion of the original firefight, it was he who accidentally shot and killed Norman. This single act of fratricide has been the wellspring of his guilt, his anger, and his self-loathing. His entire life has been a penance for a sin he could never confess. Meanwhile, the remaining Bloods, along with David, Vin, and the French activists, find themselves in the crosshairs of a ruthless French businessman, Desroches, who has learned of the gold. A brutal and bloody gunfight ensues. In a final act of selfless brotherhood, Melvin sacrifices himself, throwing his body on a grenade to save Otis. David, who has spent the entire film in his father's shadow, finds his own courage, shooting and killing Desroches. The climax leaves a trail of devastation. The gold, once a symbol of reparation and hope, has become a curse, leaving a legacy of death and sorrow. But amidst the wreckage, there are glimmers of redemption. Norman's remains are finally recovered, allowing for a proper burial and a measure of closure. The gold is ultimately used for its intended purpose, albeit in a different form. Shares are sent to support the Black Lives Matter movement, a modern-day continuation of the fight for which Norman stood. The families of the fallen Bloods also receive their portion, a bittersweet inheritance. In the film's closing moments, we see Otis reconnecting with his daughter and her mother, a tentative step towards building a future. David reads a final, heartfelt letter from his father, a message of love and regret written before his death in the jungle. Day 5 Bloods concludes not with a tidy resolution, but with a profound sense of the complexities of history, memory, and the enduring power of brotherhood, both found and lost. It is a powerful testament to the fact that for some soldiers, the war never truly ends.
Text prompting viewers to comment and subscribe. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more updates on this developing story.